Hello everybody. So these are them unpotted. These are the new orchids that I got and I did the unboxing video for. Just wanted to let you know how things went. I unpotted the Vanda first because I know that Vandas need a lot of water, and I was concerned that in the trip here she may have been a little dehydrated. As you can see, she has some pretty amazing aerial roots. The tips are a little unhappy though, except for this big guy right here. He's pretty happy. So we're gonna see how that goes. I know you probably didn't see the tags in the last video very well. So that's the Sensei Blue. So she was in a pot with bark, and then inside that bark was a basket with more bark. And I wasn't happy about that. So we took her out completely of everything. I am putting her in full water culture. That's why her roots are so green. I just took her out of the water so that I could show you guys how she looks. I didn't really cut anything off yet. Most of what's here feels pretty firm. There are a few that seem like maybe they'll need to be cut off, but right now they're not rotting. So I'm going to wait and see what happens with that. Yeah, she took a while to get out because I had to literally cut the basket piece by piece to get her roots out without breaking them. So she was hard work, but it's worth it to keep her roots and keep her happy. As I showed in the last video, she does have a spike from another time that she must have flowered. So yeah, so she's gonna stay in full water culture, and every couple of days I'm just gonna mist these just to make sure she stays well hydrated. This is the Oncidium. This was in moss, so I had to soak her to get her out because she was pretty dehydrated. There was a weird, right here under the oldest part of the plant, there was a weird type of substance. It was almost like florist foam that had disintegrated. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that, but it gets like all powdery. And it was so hard to get out. And I think that may have been the original potted bit, and then they just repotted it without taking that out. All of these, especially the Vandas, seem to have been repotted without taking the old media out. So they just basically took the plant out of the pot and repotted it with all that media still in it. So that was a trip and a half. But this one, the roots are really healthy. Maybe because it's a really young plant still. The only problem is that the moss was a little too close to these pseudobulbs, and so they're a little bit rotted. So I'm going to keep my eye on that. It does look like she has spiked prior, so she can flower again. She has two really nice healthy growths around the back, so they're coming on nicely. The only thing on this one is there's another little spot that I think she suffered a little too much moisture at one time. But I have high hopes for this one. Her pseudobulbs are nice and plump. Even though she came in moss that was completely dry, I stuck her right away in water, and I think she's going to be fine. So that's her. Then we move around to here. This was the first Cattleya that I took out. Oh, I didn't show you the tag on the Oncidium. Saiku Marguerite is what I think it's how it's pronounced. I'm not really sure because I'm not good at that kind of stuff. This is the Hauserman's Holiday Christmas. She gets like a purple bloom with like a much more purple lip. So we'll see how that comes out. I decided to unpot her first because The other one has the flower sheath, so I wanted to unpot her and see how involved it was before I disturbed the other orchid, because I didn't want to give her too much of a shock and give her too much of a setback. I did want to see what that flower spike was going to do. She took over an hour to unpot. Like I said, the center of it was clearly the old potting medium that they just took out of the old pot and stuck in a new pot with new potting medium. So this section in here was atrocious getting this stuff out. Her roots are pretty firm. There's only a few green ones, but that just may mean that these didn't photosynthesize because they were in bark, and this one did somehow. So I'm not too concerned as long as they stay nice and plump. I haven't cut anything off yet, other than a few that I was absolutely certain were rotting. I'm trying to see here. This is a new growth right here. That's pretty advanced, so that's good. Her older pseudobulbs are a little shriveled, but the new ones are very plump and happy. I'm going to try to film and turn her at the same time. So here is her newest growth. This is why I felt comfortable unpotting her. And then she has some new roots. She was in a mixture of bark and moss. I think I've stated how I feel about moss and bugs, and she sure did have them. She had, getting my finger into the frame here, she had centipedes, she had worms, and she had a lovely slug, which, if you can see right in there on that longer of the new roots, she clearly got at that lovely slug. So she got chucked over the fence in my yard. I didn't kill her, I just took her outside and I chucked her over. But I checked up all the rest of the media. I got as much media out as I could. So I don't think there are any other bugs lurking in there. I was pretty thorough. Like I said, it took me over an hour to get her out of that media. So that's her. And because of all the vermin I saw in that one, I decided, you know what, I don't want to lose the sheath on this one, but I also don't want this one to die just because of one sheath. So I decided to unpot her too. This is the Betty Ford York. Her older pseudobulbs are pretty wrinkled, so I think she suffered a little bit from dehydration, and I gotta tell you, these roots are not happy roots. They're pitted and nothing like the other one. This one, the roots seem pretty good. This one, I mean, you can see it looks like dried spaghetti. It's terrible. This portion of the plant is the oldest portion, and the pseudobulbs from the oldest portion were buried in the media. And again, it was repotted without taking it out of the old media, so there was a lot of decomposing material in there. So, but she does have, not much light, new growth right there with some pretty significant roots. But again, those roots are all pitted and unhappy, and I don't know if that's bug damage or maybe fertilizer damage. I'm not really sure. Her flower sheath is right here. At least that's what I think it is. Like I said, I am new to the whole Cattleya thing, so if it isn't, someone can, leave a comment and let me know. But all of her leaves are just one leaf. She just has one leaf. She doesn't have the bi-leaf. So I'm thinking that it is. I'm trying to see, like right here, this is an older one that had flowered, and that's what it looks like. So I'm pretty sure that that's got, or had a flower. And we'll see what happens. I'll give you updates on that. A lot of the other, there's something going on this one and the other Cattleya. There's little nubbins seeming to start, so maybe we'll get more flower sheaths. I don't know. I am very concerned about her roots. She also had bugs. I didn't see any slugs, but she had definitely had the millipedes, and she definitely had worms, and her roots are not happy. They're just not happy. So, you know, we'll see what happens. The cattleyas are going to go in semi-water culture, and the oncidium and the vanda are going to go in full water culture. And we'll see what happens. I'll give you updates. I do want to update you on some of my older orchids. I haven't done that in about a week, and there are some changes. So I'll do that hopefully shortly. If you have any suggestions on what to do about the problems with the roots or anything like that, please feel free to give a comment. I welcome suggestions. I am new to this game, but I'm loving it. So yeah, just let me know what you think, and if you have any suggestions on what to do about the poor roots on that cattleya.